Well, guys, hello. I don't know, this probably won't be a review or anything. I'm just gonna talk a little bit about what was it called? Warhammer Underworlds Shadespire, The Autumn Prince by Guy Haley. It's like a 30-minute audiobook from the Black Library that costs €4. Now, just quick simple, do I think it was worth the €4 I spent on it? Debatable, maybe. I've listened to it 3 times now, so I like it. It's good, but I do believe it's overpriced, like most things Games Workshop does. So I mean, take it or leave it. But well, I bought it because I was painting something. I just wanted something quick. So I'm gonna do a video about an update video about me painting. But more about this Guy Haley and Autumn Prince. It's about, well, as you could probably guess, that Prince, a wanderer, which are like the wood elves in the Age of Sigmar. And he's in Shadespire to find like the cure of death or something. And I think the synopsis was something like, why would an immortal elf go to Shadespire to find, the cure of death? I mean, he's immortal. Why would he care? And the book starts off with, I don't remember the prince. That's the thing. His name, they never really say his name. I think they only say his name once in the whole. No, wait, no, they do say it a bit more times. But anyways, I don't know his name. I'm gonna call him the prince. The prince and a band of humans are in a cave, and the humans are they're escorting him to, well, one of the entrances to the Shadespire. And whilst they're going there, they're fighting some Skaven, and we get oh man, this is so bad. Why am I doing this? This is so bad. I was going to do some notes, but I was like, no, fuck the notes. I'm doing it unscripted. Because I've listened to it 3 times. They fight on Skaven. He shows the captain his sword. And the captain is like, is that a wooden sword? He's like, no, well, it is kind of wooden. It's a sword of thorns. Instead of water, it eats souls. It thirsts for souls. And that's the gift Ariel gave him, basically. So good job, Ariel. Or Ariel. Fuck. It's the girl who writes the Beetle. She's fucking hot as fuck, by the way. The Ever Queen. But we still don't know why he wants to go into Shadespire. And then there's a good scene of, probably my favorite quote in this is, the human captain, after the elf calls the human captain wise, the human captain says, I've never heard of an elf calling a man wise. That's so foreign to me, or something like that. And then the elf says, some humans are wise, just like how some elves are humble. And right there we get to know that this elf is not like the other elves. He's not, a stuck-up cunt like most of them. He's his own person, in a way. And he and the captain, they have a little bit of bond. Then the captain gives him the diamond to open this fog wall, and says, after you open this wall, fucking keep the diamond, and then you can go in there and you can fucking die, and no one else is gonna come in through this way, or at least not on my account. Because this captain have been in Shadespire and he has actually managed to come out of there, but he's traumatized and he doesn't want anything to do with Shadespire anymore. He doesn't care about the riches, and he says that the gold he gets for escorting this elf, he's gonna spend it on wine to drink away his sorrows. And then probably kill himself. And we figured out that the elf has a... In fact, I don't really know what exactly it is. Basically, for me, it was kind of like Gollum. He has Gollum with him, which is kind of like a spirit. So Gollum and the prince go into Shadespire, and Gollum is pretty good. Man, they did very good at the voice acting and all that. At first, the first time I watched it, I was like, the elf voice acting could be a bit better, you know. But the more I listen to it, the more I actually really like the elf. And he does get better later on as well. Due to the fact that, like the elf says, that I'm not good nor evil or something like that. I'm desperate. Or no, I'm not nice or mad or bad or something like that. I'm just fucking desperate. I need to find this person, this one, I think, fuck, I don't know if he was a king, but this special person in Shadespire. Because if you don't know about the lore of Shadespire, the humans that used to inhabit Shadespire could find a way to cheat death in a way that they could take their souls from the underworld, which Nagash didn't like, so he desolated Shadespire. And the elf thinks that if he finds this one person, then maybe this one person could cheat death for him. And then we get... most of this book is the elf and Gollum talking to each other, just walking around Shadespire a bit. And it's good. We learn a lot about Shadespire. I don't want to say everything because I don't want to spoil it. But all I can say is I recommend this book, but not for $4. So they find the fucking mirror. And Gollum is like, oh, motherfucker, don't fucking talk to him. He's evil. The elf don't listen. And yeah, we get some very good scenes. Let me just spoil everything, because the way I'm doing right now, where I try to skirt the lines, is fucking shit. It turns out that elf loves a human girl. The human has obviously died. I think she died of age, because when he sees her again, when he's stuck in the mirror, she's like, oh, I'm a hag. I'm a withered old hag. And he's like, you're fucking beautiful. And I like that scene because it reminded me a bit of Hellsing Ultimate, when the Queen of England and Alucard meet. The Queen of England is like, I semi-envy you vampires, you never age. While me, I'm old now. And then Alucard says, you just get more beautiful the more you age. Because he can't age, he can't look like old. So I guess he has kind of like a fetish. Not really a fetish, but he can appreciate how people look. If you know what I mean. I don't think youthful looks matter as much when that's just the standard. They don't look what we humans would consider old looking. And, well, obviously he was betrayed by, well, they do say betrayal, but I never felt like the man in the mirror betrayed him. He tricked you. He didn't betray you. He just tricked you into swapping places. So now, the man in the mirror has taken over the elf princess body, and while the elf princess soul is now in the mirror. Then, somehow, the Gollum rescues the elf, and the elf then uses his sword, who eats souls, by the way, to stab himself, or his own body, and he sucks the soul out of that body, and then his soul goes back into his body. That part is a bit, fuzzy and it's not well explained, but I don't care. Because it ends up with him not being able to, not rescue, but bring his girlfriend or his girlfriend or his lover back to life. And it also shows that I think he's the last of his house, and he got kicked out of this kind of elven society because he loved a human. And he's like, fuck you guys, fuck all the other elves. I will love whoever the fuck I want. I will fuck whatever the fuck I want. And I respect that. So it ends with him being like, alright, there's nothing more for me here in Shadespire. This was a huge failure. And there's pretty good character development, even though it's just 30 minutes of between Gollum and the prince. Because Gollum wants to be freed. He's basically a prisoner to this elf. And the elf says, I will not free you because this spirit is evil. I will not free you, blah blah blah, until you learn. And at the end, when the spirit could have betrayed the elf, he didn't. He helped the elf instead. And then the spirit says, have I learned now? Will you free me? And the elf says, not yet, not yet. But he does say, I'll find a way to save you, my love. And I think it also ends with he had a shard of shade glass that he could see his love in, and then she disappeared back into the afterworld or the underworld. Man, it sounds shit. I know, it sounds fucking awful, but it's pretty good. Guy Haley did good with this. And yeah, I mean, I want to know more about this elf. It ends in a way that, fuck, there has to be a continuation. Because it ends with, with elf being like, well, I'm gonna go somewhere else and see if it works. I mean, I'm desperate. I have until something kills me. Because he's not gonna die from age. So until something kills me, I'll continue doing this shit. And I kind of want another audiobook. I think this would do a good trilogy. This was the start. And the next one could be, he tries to do it again. He fails yet again. But the bond between him and Gollum has become pretty good. And he releases Gollum. Then in the third book, he's by himself. He succeeds, but it has a bitter ending, and they both die. Kind of like something like that. That in the end, for him to bring her back, he has to sacrifice his own immortality or something along those lines. He sacrifices it. She comes back to life. And then they live for like a couple years until they both die. That could be a good end right there. If you want happy ending. Like, they both died. Or it could just be that at the end, he gives away his immortality to just get a quick, like, couple minutes with her. So they have a couple minutes of them just reuniting until they both die. That would be better than, a couple years. They just have a couple minutes together and then they both die. So yeah, I mean, out of 9, I'll give it a 6. A 6 out of 9. I mean, this is only 30 minutes, so I mean, this video is kind of like longer than the actual audiobook. But the audiobook is good. There's a lot of things I've intentionally left out. A lot of, the lore. But I had fun painting. I mean, the first time I listened to it, I did not spend that much intent. What am I trying to say? I'm a bit foozy, not foozy. I'm a bit. Kill me.